The raid on Alexandria was carried out on the 19th of December 1941 by Italian Navy divers of the Decima Flottiglia MAS, who attacked and disabled two Royal Navy battleships in the harbour of Alexandria, Egypt, using manned torpedoes. Background: on the 3rd of December, the submarine Sire of the Italian Royal Navy left the naval base of La Spezia carrying three manned torpedoes, nicknamed maiali by the Italians. At the island of Leros in the Aegean Sea, the submarine secretly picked up 6 crewmen for them: Luigi Duran de la Penne and Emilio Bianchi, Vincenzo Martellata and Mario Marino, and Antonio Marcheglia and Spartaco Shergat. Raid. On the 19th of December, Sire, at a depth of 15 meters, released the manned torpedoes 1.3 miles from Alexandria, a commercial harbor, and they entered the naval base when the British opened their defenses to let 3 of the destroyers pass. There were many difficulties for De La Penne and his crewmate Emilio Bianchi. First, the engine of the torpedo stopped and the 2 frogmen had to manually push it. Then Bianchi had to surface due to problems with the oxygen provider, so the De La Penne had to push the mail alone to where HMS Valiant lay. There he successfully placed the limpet mine just under the hull of the battleship. However, as they both had to surface, and as Bianchi was hurt, they were discovered and captured. Questioned, both of them kept silent, and they were confined in a compartment aboard Valiant, under the sea level, and coincidentally just over the place where the mine had been placed. 15 minutes before the explosion, De La Penne asked to meet with Valiant's Captain Charles Morgan and then told him of the imminent explosion but refused to give further information, so that he was returned to the compartment. Fortunately for the Italians, when the mine exploded just before them, neither he nor Bianchi were severely injured by the blast, while De La Penne only received a minor injury to the head by a ship chain. Meanwhile, Marcheglia and Shergat had attached the device 5 feet beneath the battleship HMS Queen Elizabeth's keel as scheduled. They successfully left the harbour area at 4:30 a.m. and slipped through Alexandria posing as French sailors. They were captured 2 days later at Rosetta by the Egyptian police while awaiting rescue by the Sire and handed over to the British. Martellata and Marino searched in vain for an aircraft carrier purportedly moored at Alexandria, but after some time they decided to attack a large tanker, the 7,554 gross register ton Norwegian Sigona. Marino fixed the mine under the tanker's stern at 2:55. Both divers managed to land unmolested, but were eventually arrested at an Egyptian police checkpoint. In the end, all the divers were made prisoners, but not before the mines exploded, severely damaging both HMS Queen Elizabeth and Valiant, disabling them for 9 months and 6 months respectively. The Sigona lost her stern section and the destroyer HMS Jervis, one of 4 alongside her refueling, was badly damaged. Neither of the 2 capital ships sank, but they were out of action for some time. Aftermath. This represented a dramatic change of fortunes against the Allies from the strategic point of view. During the next 6 months, the Italian fleet had temporarily wrested naval supremacy in the east-central Mediterranean from the Royal Navy. The Valiant was towed to Admiralty Floating Dock 5 on the 21st for temporary repairs and was under repair at Alexandria until April 1942 when she sailed to Durban. By August, she was operating with Force B off Africa in exercises for the defense of East Africa and operations against Madagascar. Queen Elizabeth was in dry dock at Alexandria for temporary repairs until late June, when she sailed from the United States for refit and repairs, which ended the following June. The refit was completed in Britain. Jervis was repaired and operational again by the end of January. In media, The attack is dramatized at the beginning of the film The Silent Enemy. Another movie, The Valiant, is about the sinking of HMS Valiant in Alexandria harbour. There is also a 1953 Italian movie about the attack, including some real members of Decima Flottiglia MAS as support actors in the cast. In the latter, the events are a bit modified and presented in a more favourable way for RN. Namely, the damaging of HMS Queen Elizabeth is just mentioned in a statement at the end of the movie. The two Italians are evacuated from the room undersea before the explosion, while in reality they had been placed there again after Durandilla. Penne had told Morgan about the next explosion. And last, the camouflage about the ship damages is presented as much more effective than it was. Gallery.